Hey everyone, we all know that feeling when you're in a winning matchup and want to play aggressive, but you can't because when you go in, the enemy jungler is waiting and kills you. So today, we're going to break down a game from my Diamond 1 Smurf where I'm playing Diana vs Fizz, and I track exactly where the enemy jungler is for the first 10 minutes. Also, throughout the video, we're going to talk about what this Fizz does wrong. As always, the concepts here won't just apply to Diana and Fizz, so don't worry if you don't play them. Let's break down the matchup first and create some game plans, then we'll get into the gameplay. Diana and Fizz are both melee AP assassins. Diana wins the matchup because she has more wave clear and wins extended trades. Fizz can win burst trades if Diana misses Q though. Also, Fizz sets up ganks very well with his ult, which is something important for the matchup since Diana has no mobility unless going in. My game plan is going to be, Mission 1, push the wave. Diana has the wave clear advantage, so I want to use it to get a minion and level lead. Mission 2, crash the wave on the tower. This mission is very important as it leads into Mission 3, bounce the wave off the tower. By crashing it, it'll bounce and push back to us, keeping us safe from ganks. We'll explain more about this later. Alright, let's get into the gameplay. At the start of the lane, I'm not touching any minions, waiting for Fizz to come into the lane. This is because I have an AoE ability level 1, meaning I can use it to kill all 3 minions that get low at the same time. So when Fizz does eventually come to lane, from this weird angle, I use Q, grabbing the 3 CS, hitting him and 2 of the backline minions as well. This is perfect and exactly what I want with every Q that I throw. If I use some of my Qs to get a CS, and some of them to push, and some of them to harass, I'm eventually going to run out of mana. But if I use my Qs and do all 3 at once, it's very efficient. After that, I walk up to these minions to build up my passive because I win level 1 trades, especially with how long of a cooldown Fizz E is compared to my Q. But I mess up here, taking free autos because I was misclicking the ground next to him instead of clicking him. We've talked about this in other videos where it's important to not take free auto attacks in melee matchups. So we can just chalk this up to a mistake on my part, NA mechanics, washed up play, or whatever. But when my Q comes back up and these 2 CS get low, I throw another very efficient Q to hit him and grab these last hits while auto attacking him as well. This was a mistake from him. If you're playing a matchup where you lose level 1, it's not worth taking a chunk like this just for a 14 gold range minion. For a cannon is a different story. It's okay to give up CS when you know your main ability is down and you're going to take a lot of damage. If we keep going, the next wave arrives and I'm continuing mission 1 by pushing. I use Q just like before, hitting all 6 minions and poking Fizz. This is very bad from him, letting me do this with every Q. And this concept doesn't just apply to Diana. If you're playing versus any champion with an AoE skill shot, you want to avoid giving them the push and harass, so don't stand in the wave. But after that, I finish clearing the next wave while poking Fizz with Q again, and crash the wave on the tower for mission 2. By doing this, the wave will bounce back to me, so I'm not really far up in the lane as Diana, where I'm easily ganked. But even though I'm setting the wave up so I can't be ganked, it's still important to get vision to try and track the enemy jungler. The enemy jungler is Olaf. Before we keep going, first think to yourself, where do you think Olaf could be right now? What is this bad thing? Olaf is a jungler that likes to full clear, meaning he could start blue, clear his full top side, then come to bot side, or start red and do that side first. Because of this, I'm going to walk over and drop a ward at Raptors. This will tell me if he started top or bot. If Raptors are still here, he started top, and if he started bot, he'll be on the Raptors. As we can see, he's finishing up his Raptors right now and has red buff, so he's doing a full clear starting from bot. While this happens, our Lee Sin level 2 ganks top side and only has red buff. It's important to also track what your own jungler does because now I can get into the head of the enemy jungler. If you don't know, blue side camps are the most important right now, Wolves and Gromp, especially Gromp as it gives the most experience. So if Olaf sees our Lee Sin didn't do blue yet, Olaf might go to our blue to steal Lee's camps and hope Lee doesn't steal Olaf's blue so Olaf can get those camps as well. Alright, how is this going to affect my decision in lane? Well, the wave is coming back to me and I know I win this matchup so I would love to fight, but since I know Olaf might invade our blue or just be in the bottom river right now, I can't play too aggressive until I see him. So I'm just playing safe, watching the minimap and pinging my team where Olaf could be. I ping bottom river, our blue, and bottom tri-brush so our bot lane knows. Something very important here, do not go to your blue and try to defend it, especially versus an Olaf. If your junglers spam ping you to go check blue, just ignore them. If your jungler's on the opposite side, it's pointless to try and stop them from taking it. Your jungler needs to learn how to jungle and split the map. Splitting the map is also called vertical jungling, which is what my jungler does next. He goes into the enemy blue side, and as expected, the blue is still there. This means Olaf 100% invaded our blue. Since I know Olaf is in our bot side, but still haven't seen him, I have to continue to play relatively safe. And on top of that, the enemy minion wave is huge, so it would be hard to all in into that. I would have loved to be playing aggressive in these early stages, but it's more important I don't die to ganks. So I'm just going to go in for one quick trade and then phase rush out and let this wave crash on the tower to clear it. After that, the next wave isn't a cannon wave, meaning I can clear it very fast and easily, so I push it and look to reset. While I'm doing that, Olaf and Fizz show up diving our bot lane 4v2, so I can't reset here and need to get some tower damage to punish the Fizz for roaming. This is a common play the enemy can make when the map is split, since they know our jungler is on the other side. Since before 5 minutes, the tower is really tanky and I can't get a plate, only some damage. But since Fizz is going to reset after the bot roam, I quickly push the next wave and take a reset myself. When I get back to lane, this is when Fizz really starts messing up. I use my Q on the wave looking to push for the minion lead again for mission 1, but I missed the Fizz. Fizz should look to trade with me here using his Q, auto W, and E combo since I have very little damage without my Q, but he plays it passive and walks away. When my Q comes back up, Fizz is in range, so I aim for him, land it, then use E to dash and auto. There are two very important things to talk about here. First, if you notice, when I jumped on him, I didn't use my W. This is because I want to make use of the shield. If I just use it here when I jump in, I'll get a little extra damage, but when my shield falls off, he can look for a burst trade and I won't have my W to negate some of the damage. So instead, I'm waiting for him to trade back. That brings us to the second important thing, which is Fizz's main mistake here, a crucial fundamental to any lane. Fizz doesn't trade back with me at all, even after I use my main ability, my Q. I have a feeling it's because he knows this is a losing matchup for him and he wouldn't win the trade. But the thing is, even if you're in a losing matchup, you have to trade back. If Fizz uses his Q, auto, W on me here, which will proc electrocute, then jump away with his E or just walks away, the only damage he'll take from me is my W, which doesn't do much. This would put him at about 60% health and me around 70-80%, maybe even a little less. Obviously, him trading 5 to 10% of his health to trade back and do 20 to 30% of mine is very worth it. Not trading at all and taking free damage is very, very bad. Anyways, getting back into it, I'm pushing the wave still and landing some Q poke, then put a ward at Raptors. Because the Raptors aren't there, I know he's already cleared this side. It brings us back to the same question as before. Did Olaf invade our blue again to take Lee's camps or go to his own blue side now? Well, we can see our Lee Sin at his wolves, meaning Olaf went to his own blue side. Since I know where Olaf is, I'm pinging it on the minimap and looking to abuse this Fizz since obviously he's making big mistakes and it's a winning matchup for me. So I hit him with another QE auto combo and phase rush away. After chunking him like this, I want to keep up the pressure, so I'm continuing to push. I go to throw a Q and Fizz uses his E to dodge it, which isn't worth it. Fizz E is his main defensive and outplay tool, but it's a long cooldown and very high mana compared to my Q. He shouldn't be this far up and should be letting the wave crash instead. After that, I drop a control ward in bot side river since that's the side of the lane I want to be playing towards, knowing Olaf is top. I don't know exactly where in topside he is though, so I'm playing back a little. But he appears for a brief second ganking top, which gives me the green light to play as aggressive as I want. So when Fizz uses Q on a minion here, I test him a little bit, using E without Moonlight on him at all, and once again he doesn't trade back, giving me free damage. Since I know where Olaf is, I keep pushing to pressure. When Fizz goes for a last hit on a minion here, I throw Q again to poke, then one more time when he gets greedy, then dash in with E ignite and W, and one more E to finish him off. Alright guys, so after watching this video, you should have a much better idea on how to track the jungler, trade properly, and know when to play aggressive or defensively based on the current map state. But that's going to be it for this one. We hope you enjoyed and thanks for watching.